Alright. The best of all possible worlds is our next one, and this one is a bit on the longer side again, but not extremely long. Euclid, containment procedures pursuant to Casual Boundary Agreement 04234A, the Foundation shall not engage in initial attempts to contain instances of -1. Instead, there's hold on. Instead, designated Foundation monitors shall radioactively tag instances of -1 and monitor, pending the instance self-containment at the Foundation's designated facility. Upon self-containment, the Foundation is to arrange living quarters which correspond insofar as it is practicable to the transboundary containment areas. In the event that an instance of -1 fails to self-contain within 48 hours of radioactive dye administration, Foundation personnel shall contact the Intercausal Liaison Office, institute a 70-meter cordon around all areas habitually visited by -1, and institute broad-spectrum amnestic therapy at all incidents, such as necessary. No attempt is to be made to contain until confirmation of non-containment is received from the Foundation Intercausal Liaison Office. Warning: by Order 453, intercausal liaison activities related to SCP-2087 are presently suspended. For more information and associated documents, consult -CN-34A. Yes, I love sleeping on the bus, just listening to music, then digestive acid begins filling up the bus, and then the sharp set of teeth tries to eat me. Well, it's not. You don't get eaten like that. You literally just get your blood sucked out. It just punctures you and just. There ain't no acid to feel. You just get like a little stab and then. Which again, not better. In addition, the Foundation shall attempt to contain all radioactively tagged individuals determined by cross-boundary containment partners to be instances of -2. Individuals determined to be instances of -2 shall be contained notwithstanding the presence or absence of overt anomalous features. Radio tagging shall be considered sufficient evidence of anomalous events. Description: SCP-2087, formerly classified SCP blank, SCP blank, and SCP blank, is an anomalous causal phenomenon caused by incomplete divergence of adjacent timelines. To date, all identified divergences have affected individuals. For theoretical consideration, see two men with the same past, anomalous causal couplings in objective Bennett spacetime. Reference omitted. -1 consists of individuals casually coupled to adjacent timelines. In all recorded cases, the divergence results from the individual's death in some, but not all, adjacent timelines. Accordingly, most affected individuals are distinguishable by the injuries which resulted in their death. All individuals, including those who did not die with visible injuries, exhibit a... Did I? I did, yeah. Okay. Injuries, sorry. Including those who did not exhibit a variable causal synchronization with adjacent non-fatal timelines. These instances may be recognized by the characteristics jerking, snapping, or blinking movement. Inconsistent causal synchronization between -1 instances in the primary timeline renders conventional containment strategies impractical. Accordingly, causal contact between primary timeline and divergent timeline Foundation is permitted to mitigate consensus risk. Under the terms of Standard Order 12,170b, causal contact with adjacent timelines is prohibited in order to reduce the risk of causal contamination by non-viable timelines. For further information and risk studies, consult the MAR, the Voice, the Pinhole, causal adjacency, risking polytemporal containment scenarios. Reference omitted. Under the terms of causal boundary agreement 04234A, the Foundation may tag individual exhibiting signs of anomalous causal contact with strontium-90 dye. Any such individual are to be taken into custody by transboundary Foundation agents and stored until the causal coupling lapses or the affected individual dies. -2 consists of individuals tagged by Divergent Timeline Foundation for containment. Individuals tagged for the reciprocal containment are generally overtly non-anomalous. However, two affected individuals have exhibited symptoms of bilateral causal synchronization. Affected individuals are to be contained until no longer radioactively tagged. Addenda. Document -CHD-9 case history -1 of R5. Document, well, I just said, document -CHD-9 SCP-287 case histories. Subject: Deborah A. blank -1-R5. Cause of death: automotive accident. Gross and anatomical reserve. Subject pronounced dead due to pedestrian/automotive accidents at 11:43 p.m. on the 7th 9th 1974. Initial physical trauma resulted in the avulsion of the right leg at the hip socket and amputation of the left leg at the knee. Blowout fracture of the left eye socket, crushing trauma to the left temporal bone, and compound fracture of right humerus. At initial observation, body was non-anomalous and was transported to the University of Miami Medical Center for disposition. Case history: on the 7th 11th 1974, subject's upper torso was discovered, apparently conscious in an unoccupied room the University of Miami Intensive Care Unit. Medical personnel initially attempted to provide supportive medical care. Subject was pronounced dead a second time at 8:41 a.m. on the 7th 11th 1974. Medical personnel contacted local police, who forwarded the contact to the IOU. Foundation IOU embeds intercepted the case file and commenced containment in situ. On the 7th 13th 1974, subject's legs were observed to return to the University of Miami Medical Center, collide with an exterior door, and commence movement consistent with a brisk walk. After 38 seconds, legs disappeared. After 17 seconds, legs reappeared in the second floor interior stairwell. Ascending toward the intensive care unit, the Foundation took measures to restrain subject's torso. By 7:21 a.m. on the 7th 13th 1974, legs had to rejoin subject's body. I can glitch through timelines, but there's not a single one where I get bitches. Well, I mean, you're dead. No bitch wants to date a dead person. Due to a poor causal synchronization with primary space-time, containment was lost at 8:15 a.m. On the 7th 14th 1974, request for intercausal containment was escalated to 053 and approved due to unacceptable consensus risk. Intercausal containment effort proved successful, and containment was resumed on the 7th 30th 1974. Document -CHD-9 case history -1-D3. Document -CHD-9 SB-287 case histories. Subject unidentified -1-D3, cause of death unknown. Gross anatomical survey. Subject presumed dead by 7/13/2003. Body not recovered prior to activation as -1. Body has suffered extraordinary pre-mortem damage: skull, right arm, and torso distal to the second. Actually, I need to ask somebody something. Okay. Presumed loss: 4 mortise portions of the right orbit and 300 milliliters of blood appear, appropriately positioned in the region typically occupied by the head. Case history: on the 7/12/2003, routine monitoring of local newspaper alerted the Foundation to the case. A monitoring cordon was erected and surveillance was commenced on the 7/13/2003. First contact was initiated at 6:30 a.m. blank when subject arrived exterior door of a commercial building in blank UK. Subject entered the building, colliding with multiple storefront displays, and proceeded to a third floor office. The subject then engaged in typical workday activities and exited the building at 5:58 p.m. After primary containment, subject exited the building, proceeded 1.15 kilometers northwest of initial site, and desynchronized with adjacent timeline. Containment was lost until subject reappeared in the Foundation's designated containment zone. On further investigation, subject could not be positively identified as former or current resident of the building. Identity still undetermined. And then we have document ICL-1, incident review and standing orders. Final incident review -ICL-1. Background: on the 1st, 2012, Foundation distributed radiation detectors returned approximately 41 meters positive strontium-90 signals distributed consistently with human population patterns. Per sampling protocol, ambient radiation detectors were brought offline, cycled and returned to service, and transboundary contact was suspended until final resolution by the O5 Council. Post-cycle readings exceeded operating parameters. Post-exposure sampling 3 weeks later found that 21% of the human population received between 2 and 7 MCF of radiation exposure. On the 1st, 4th, 2012, during a meeting of the full panel of the O5 Council, all instances of -1 ceased activity. By unanimous decision of the O5 Council, the intercultural liaison office was ordered sealed until additional instances of -1 are detected. Standing orders: as of 1st, 7th, 2012, transboundary contact is indefinitely suspended. All devices and thermoclass artifacts permitting cultural contact with adjacent timelines are, until further notice, to be reclassified as Keter. At present, the Foundation's standing hypothesis is that no adjacent timeline is viable for continued human life. As of 1st, 14th, 2013, it is confirmed that the macro-scale deviations from the known timeline result in non-viable branching within 4 nanoseconds. The viability of blank scale divergent timelines is presently unknown. The underlying reasons for mass fatality in adjacent timelines is unknown. The reason for the continued viability of the primary timeline is similarly unknown. Research into this matter is ongoing. For access to real-time intertemporal monitoring and experimental results, consult with your site director. I forgot that today is Saturday, so there's a bunch of my podcasts must have uploaded today. God, I'm gonna have to catch up tomorrow while editing on stuff. The best of all possible worlds. Basically a world where they haven't died.